Hi, I'm Kelly Holmes, the National School Sports Champion, campaigning to make school children more active and healthy. Achieving this means weaving PE, sport and healthy living into school life in new and interesting ways. That's exactly what one primary school near Burnley is doing.
Evening kick-off, a midweek fixture at Burnley Football Club, Lancashire. Head teacher Julie Bradley is taking a party of Year 5 and 6 children and staff to a match.
The excitement and the passion that comes with following a football club is something that people need, actually.
It may seem an unusual extracurricular activity, but Julie's devotion to Burnley FC has inspired a dramatic change in the entire life of her school.
When you're part of a football club, such as Burnley Football Club, you get an identity. You become part of something that's very special.
And it's that sense of being special that Julie aims to bring to her school. St Leonard's Primary serves the village of Padiham, a small community that lies on the outskirts of Burnley itself. For many of the children here, life is tough. Parental unemployment is high, stress at home can be severe, opportunities few and far between. Julie took over as head of St Leonard's in 2000.
I think my first impressions were of a sort of sadness and a dullness in a way. The other thing that we noticed was that the children were not particularly active. They didn't seem to have an awful lot of stamina, really.
Julie conducted a school-wide health check.
We did survey the children. A staggering number of the children were coming to school without breakfast. The food that the children were telling us that they were having at home wasn't particularly healthy. They tended to be fast foods, quick snacks. They were tired due to the fact that they were not particularly eating well. Really, there were a lot of physical problems that we had to attack, if you will, with physical answers.
For Julie, physical well-being and mental alertness go hand in hand. To get the school on its feet, she and her staff are going to have to go back to basics. And that meant rethinking every aspect of the school's life, starting with timetabling.
We sat down and thought about how we use time in our school. And we realised that there's a lot of wasted time. So we've got a literacy hour and then we've got 15 minutes. Well, what are we doing in that 15 minutes? So we really challenged people to think about how they're using time. And we set out to find time.
If there's a single word to describe St Leonard's, it's dynamic. The school day pulses to a carefully orchestrated rhythm of peaks and troughs, refined through 6 years of trial and error. A typical day begins with breakfast club.
Smile, George. You're on camera.
For just 50p, it's a low-cost, healthy way of ensuring that children get something nutritious to eat.
The children are encouraged to come to school early. That helps with attendance and lateness and so on. During Breakfast Club, we give them a range of healthy options for breakfast. And again, it's educating them as to how easy it is to eat healthily at breakfast time.
After breakfast, but before the first lesson, children get a further energy boost, a dose of classroom aerobics.
In the classroom, we put some upbeat music on and a very simple aerobic routine. The children are then focused, they're ready for the start of the lesson, they know that learning is about to begin, and they're energised.
Teaching is soon in full swing. The school settles down to a steady rhythm of learning. Bottles of water are on hand to keep the children refreshed.
Hydration is important, so making sure that the children have access to water at any time. It's just part of school life now for everybody.
If concentration flags, teachers call a time-out for a quick session of mental gymnastics.
Now when I move, you move.
In the simple act of standing, children increase the oxygen flow to the brain by 15%. Basic stretches and coordination exercise both sides of the brain at once. Then it's back to work.
Y, Z. Okay.
With mid-morning break comes another refuelling stop.
Toast and a crust.
No, across, I ain't got an 8 or 2.
We keep the energy levels up during the day by our Healthy Snack Club. Children are again shown how easy it is to eat healthily. We give them a variety of fruit, smoothies, etc.
After snack time, twice a week, the classrooms double as temporary changing rooms when the children get ready for their PE lesson. These Key Stage 2 pupils are in the process of developing an intense awareness of the body and what it can do. For the children, it's a matter of mastering bats and cats moves and different rolling actions. But the teachers take it very seriously.
PE is like any other subject area. We assess in the same way. We begin each of our units of work with what's called a core task, and that's what we're working towards throughout that unit of work, which is normally a 6-week period. And we'll assess the children against that core task.
Well done. Did you feel the difference? Yeah, you've got to really have a go at it, haven't you?
To monitor progress, staff video the children's performance. The video is played directly into a computer-based movement analysis programme for pupils and teacher to review.
Yeah. You're doing your moves and you're thinking about keeping your toes nice and straight, keeping your back straight, okay, and just have a little bit more grace. We can put straight lines on it. Look, this is your back's not quite straight, this is what it needs to be, okay. Look, you've moved, your sequence isn't going forward straight. I can show you by using the dots and by showing you the lines that you should be taking. And then they can obviously see how far they're off it, how much more they need to improve and how nearer they need to be to that model. And we can use all these visual aids that's on the programme, and that's a fantastic help.
The PE curriculum at St Leonard's also includes games activities like tag rugby.
When I say try, you're just going to put the ball down and then you're going to get up again and celebrate, okay? Try! Put the ball down, jump up, celebrate!
Or fencing.
Bend the knees, good balance.
To help with such a diverse provision, St Leonard's has reached out into the community.
Much better work, well done.
Thanks to the local school sport partnership, the school has access to qualified coaches like Commonwealth Games double gold medalist John Smethurst.
Rolling backwards and forwards, you'll use what you've just practised to try and do the backward rolls. Roll back.
As an adult other than teacher, John sees his role as that of guide and mentor both to pupils and teachers. A twin approach that gives school staff a chance to learn something new on the job.
The children are going to learn, they're going to enjoy my lessons, but I see it as mainly that the teachers are going to learn from me as well. Okay, so when I leave the school, they can carry on the work that I'm starting with them.
Yeah, are you going to do that on here, or are you going to do that on a mat? Okay.
For head teacher Julie Bradley, staff leadership in PE sends an important signal to the children.
If the teacher disappears off to the staff to do his or her marking, it sends out the wrong messages about PE and sport to the children. The teacher's gone, this mustn't be as important as literacy and numeracy, so we've got to get over to the children that this is an essential part of the curriculum.
After PE, the hall is prepared for lunch. As with breakfast and snacks, school dinners have an accent on health.
We've got organic sausages with spicy wedges and baked beans, chicken curry with rice, and for pudding we've got sponge with fruit cocktail and frozen yoghurt and melon. We've got a melon on today.
But how have the children taken to a new menu that suddenly only has chips once a week?
They like it, but at first they weren't right sure because at first my numbers were down, but now they've gone the way up now. Now they like the food, they've got into it, my numbers have gone back up.
After lunch, the children get stuck into a range of playtime activities, like cheerleading practice. Everyone is welcome.
Everything we do is fully inclusive. You know, we don't have rugby for boys and netball for girls. Everybody does everything. So it's a have-a-go culture here.
And round, round, middle, hey, hey, round, round, middle, hey, hey, middle, big circle. Well done, everybody.
But the school day isn't all about perking the children up. Before afternoon lessons begin, they are brought down to earth. Time for a moment of calm reflection.
Your hands on the floor in front of you, your hands and knees, and you're looking up at the ceiling.
We put on some calming music this time, relaxing music, and we do yoga-type activities. Obviously, one has to be careful with the activities that you choose with young children, and we're aware of that. But the focus is on the relaxation, bringing the energy levels down.
By the time the day draws to a close, the children have experienced a controlled round of mental and physical activity.
During the course of the day, we have this nice cycle of activity, taking the children from low energy levels to raising them, to bringing them back down, and then hopefully they go back out into the world a little bit calmer and ready to deal with whatever comes their way.
St Leonard's staff have managed to create what many would call a healthy school approach. But to squeeze all this extra activity into the school day, while still meeting the demands of the core curriculum, posed a major timetabling headache.
So by rearranging our timetable, that's how we've managed to find the time to do it. Now, we still get in our literacy hour, our 50 minutes for numeracy, and science and ICT and all the other curriculum areas, and we can still make time for our 2 hours of taught PE.
St Leonard's has taken giant steps towards creating a healthier school by promoting a range of high-quality physical education and sport, maximising time in the school day to achieve a healthy lifestyle, introducing healthy food and proper hydration, and developing a school ethos that encourages healthier living.
We've recently conducted a study because we wanted to try and find a more direct link between PE and improvements in curriculum areas. So we've focused on one year group and we've done a focus piece of writing. Then we've introduced dance and then we've revisited the writing task. And we saw a significant improvement in the level of writing that the children were producing.
But for Julie Bradley, the real proof lies in something that cannot be measured: the faces of the children.
The real joy is seeing the change in the children. Children who can now look you in the eye and are confident to debate and confident to challenge, and also feeling confident in themselves to have a go at anything, and they will have a go at anything, and that's a real difference.
The national trend may be towards overweight and unfit children. But here's one school which is bucking that trend.